a technical tour.
Yeah, so basically, this is the Mirage.
Now, you might be wondering, what is this all about? Well, in Etobicoke, Ontario, 2D House is a hub of creativity using LED panels and the Unreal Engine. It brings together digital and real worlds, pushing the media industry into exciting new territory. David and James invite the Cinco production crew to tour their studio. David, the studio owner, and James, the wizard behind the screen, showcase how they bring virtual reality to life using Unreal Engine.
It's a 270-degree LED wall with a seamless ceiling. And basically we use inside-out tracking. Inside-out tracking? Yes. Yeah, sorry. So I get this confused. Our ceiling is a semi-transparent ceiling. On switch. And basically it allows us to hide kind of our tracking markers. So we're not able to see them, or the reflections aren't able to see them, but the MOSIS tracking can still pick up.
The ceiling has a host of retroreflectors all in it, and that's a map that this little camera makes. And if you hold a flashlight next to your eyeball, like your phone or something, you'll see the retroreflectors bounce back at you.
So that kind of that sensor gets mounted on top of here, and then we do an offset to kind of tell it where the camera sensor is. So then that data gets kind of piped through to Unreal Engine, and that's kind of like currently what we have rendering is an Unreal scene. And then, once we move the camera, the virtual camera is tied to it through the tracking, and then, it's kind of mimicking it and giving it that parallax. So yeah, this is basically an Unreal scene, and then I can actually control that through this computer here. It essentially talks to, or it's on a server that all the node computers and the editor computer is on, so I can communicate and kind of do live edits to the actual Unreal scene. So here I have the same environment, and this is kind of like a three-dimensional representation of our wall. Basically, we built that through kind of like LiDAR scan. So anything in here is represented, to kind of our real-world scale.
But what is it exactly? Here, the digital and real worlds converge, paving the way for a new era in studio production. It's an emerging technology that's sure to grab the attention of production companies, pushing them to embrace the possibilities of this evolving landscape. Big names like BBC, Fox Sports, and many other popular broadcasters are already jumping on board with this new technology, showing how this technology is changing the game in the industry.
You can create quite amazing spaces graphically, more so, for instance, than you can building these massive sets. So it allows operators that are graphic designers to basically create these environments. It does require a lot more pre-production and pre-visualization to create these assets that go into these environments. However, in that respect, it makes it easier to actually create and change spaces. If I want to change my background, for instance, here from this office setting to me in the middle of a field somewhere, you press a button.
Virtual production studios shines as the future in the world of film, commercials, and sports, bringing positive changes.
The sports broadcasting, live events broadcasting, productions where your production is contained a bit more to a single environment. I'm thinking, a studio set, whether it be for, ESPN covering NBA, and you have, four people at a desk, or Hockey Night in Canada, you're going back to that environment, that set every time. Being able to put that set in a virtual environment really opens up a whole lot of opportunities for you in terms of being able to change up that environment, change the branding of the environment if you're sort of doing any sort of partnerships, branding partnerships.
Virtual production transforms filmmaking replacing green screens with LED panels displaying vivid digital landscapes. Performers seamlessly inhabit these worlds, captured by cameras equipped with extended reality capabilities, while sophisticated IT infrastructures handles data seamlessly, announcing a new frontier in storytelling. Virtual production studios revolutionize filmmaking by creating lifelike scenes digitally, drastically reducing the need for physical sets and extensive travel. By integrating realistic environments and dynamic lighting, virtual production studios are able to minimize carbon emissions and cut down on consumption and waste.
If you had a production that maybe had, multiple locations, whether they be domestic or international, that's a lot of time and money and carbon footprint that your production is creating or needing to fulfill the needs of that shoot. Whereas if you can migrate that all to a virtual production environment, now everyone's just coming to the same set. You don't need to be flying talent and crew all around the world. And you're able to maximize more of your time. You're not having to budget in transport days and moving from one location to another. It's all just there in front of you. So that's a big pro.
This eco-friendly filmmaking process makes it more sustainable for not only us, but for future generations as well.
So then when I move that, the whole kind of environment, can move with it. So, I mean, here it's great. You can position your, what we call like a stage. You can spin it, and sometimes we were actually just talking about, changing angles and perspectives if you need a different, need someone falling or climbing up a building, and you can kind of, change the perspective based off of that. You can also do other things depending on how your environment is set up. This one's pretty dynamic, so I could change things like, the sun to change kind of, whatever the DP or the creatives kind of need or looking for. You can change kind of like the ambient lighting, make it more moody or much brighter, flatter lighting. You can also do things like make it very, very foggy.
So I guess when these walls are in like their default form, not projecting any specific image, are they green or is it just like black nothing?
Just black, yeah. We can turn the wall off really quick right now.
Wall off?
Yeah, just go to 0 on the wall.
Oh, like just fade it?
It's like a bunch of screens.
Well, it's just gonna be dark.
Oh, can you leave the ceiling on?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really just a giant monitor,
Yeah.
big curved monitor.
Are you able to project like solid colors on it as well?
Yeah. Think of it as a monitor. If whatever, not to say it's a bad question, but any question you have, you can always answer in terms of what we can display. Just imagine if the answer is yes on a monitor, then yeah, because this can essentially just be your computer's desktop.
Very cool.
In fact, that's what it is.
In a world of tight budgets, travel haul, and limited time, virtual production studios shine bright. They save money, cut emissions, and create magic from absolutely nothing. This is the dawn of a new era where innovation leads the way. Virtual production studios are paving the path for a future filled with endless possibilities.
Wait, hold on. Peter Parker? Is that you?
Peter Parker, like
No, that's Spider-Man. You're Peter Parker.
That's
No, you have to be
You
Peter
have to-
Parker.
I'm not Spider-Man.
You're Peter Parker.
I'm not Spider-Man. Stay away from me.
Watch where you're going.
Watch where you're going.
Watch where you're going. Do you know what planet we're on?
Yeah, and that's my shit by the way.
care.
I drove that here.
Go back then. Go back. Dang. That was pretty good, no?